Imagine there's an ancient book holding the secrets of the universe, knowledge so powerful that once you grasp and use it, you could completely change your life. What if I told you this book actually exists and has been hidden right in front of us for centuries? That book is called the Kybalion. It's a mysterious text that shares 7 universal laws, principles that govern everything, from how stars move in the sky to the thoughts running through your mind. These laws aren't just ideas or opinions. They are unchanging truths studied by wise people, mystics, and alchemists for generations. So what exactly are these laws? How can they affect your life? These laws connect us to the very essence of existence, showing us how to work with the energy of the universe and shape our reality however we want. Understanding them is like cracking the secret code of the universe, the blueprint behind everything we are and everything we experience. In this discussion, we'll explore the mystery of the Kybalion and take a close look at each of the 7 laws. We'll dig into where they come from, what they mean, and most importantly, how you can apply them in your everyday life to understand the world better and discover more about yourself. Get ready for an exciting journey into hidden knowledge that will challenge how you see reality and open doors to wisdom that, once known, you won't be able to ignore. Are you ready to uncover secrets that have guided seekers and spiritual explorers for thousands of years? To understand the Kybalion and its teachings, we first need to go back to the origins of Hermetic wisdom, a type of ancient knowledge linked to one of the most mysterious figures in history, Hermes Trismegistus. His name means Hermes, the thrice great, and it's said he represents a blend of the Egyptian god Thoth, the god of wisdom, and the Greek god Hermes, messenger of the gods. The writings attributed to him form the foundation of many spiritual and philosophical traditions. Hermes Trismegistus is believed to have taught alchemy, astrology, and magic to initiates in Egypt and Greece. This knowledge gave birth to what we call Hermeticism, a way of thinking that influenced Gnosticism, the Kabbalah, and many secret schools during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. But what is the Kybalion itself? This book was published in 1908 by 3 anonymous authors, calling themselves the 3 Initiates. Their goal was to sum up the heart of Hermetic wisdom into 7 basic laws. They didn't just want to share abstract ideas, they wanted to give a guide for understanding and working with the invisible forces that shape the universe. Over the centuries, these teachings were kept safe by secret groups to prevent them from being misused. Still, their message spread, becoming a key part of modern spiritual thought. Famous thinkers like Isaac Newton, Carl Jung, and Aleister Crowley studied Hermetic principles, recognizing their deep ties to science, psychology, and metaphysics. Today, the Kybalion continues to attract those curious about life beyond the surface. Its 7 laws present a view of the universe as a vast web of connected energies and vibrations, with our mind playing a major role in creating the reality we live in. Now that we've covered the background and importance of the Kybalion, let's dive into the heart of the matter, the 7 Hermetic Laws, and see how they can change how you see the world. The 7 laws are basic truths that govern how the universe works. According to the Kybalion, understanding these laws helps us align ourselves with the cosmic order and change how we experience reality. Let's start with the first 3 laws and their impact on our lives. First is the law of mentalism. It says, "The all is mind." This is the foundation of Hermetic philosophy. It means that the whole universe is a creation of a universal mind, and that everything we experience begins with thought. In other words, reality is like a mental picture. To get a clearer picture, think about dreaming. When you're asleep, you create entire worlds in your mind filled with people, places, and events, but those things exist only inside your dream. According to the law of mentalism, the same thing happens with the reality we live in. Everything we see and experience is a projection of cosmic consciousness. This law also works in our everyday life. Our thoughts shape what we experience. If you focus on lack, sadness, or limits, that's what you'll attract. But if you learn to control your mind and think about abundance, happiness, and growth, you'll start living in a world that feels more balanced and positive. The second law is the law of correspondence. It says, "As above, so below. As within, so without." This means everything in the universe follows similar patterns and everything is connected. What happens on a large scale in the universe also happens on a smaller scale in our lives. For example, just as planets revolve around the sun, atoms orbit a nucleus. Likewise, what's going on inside us emotionally reflects in our outer world. If there's turmoil inside, life will feel chaotic. But if we create peace inside, the world around us becomes calmer too. The third law is the law of vibration. It tells us that nothing rests, everything moves and vibrates. Everything, whether it's solid matter, energy, or thoughts, has its own vibration. Different vibrations attract or repel each other, which explains why some things come together naturally and others don't. For example, feelings like love and joy vibrate at higher frequencies, while fear and anger vibrate lower. If you raise your vibration by focusing on positive feelings, you attract similar energies into your life. Together, these first three laws help us see that our minds and feelings play a huge role in shaping the reality we live in. By mastering them, we gain the power to influence the world around us. Later, we can explore the other four laws and how they continue this journey of understanding and transformation. In the meantime, think about this. If the universe is mental in nature, connected through patterns and constantly vibrating, then you are deeply connected to everything around you. Your thoughts and feelings are not just inside you. They reach out and shape the whole world. This idea opens up a new way to look at life, one full of possibilities. This idea teaches us to look closely at nature and the universe to better understand ourselves. It also reminds us that by changing what's going on inside us, we can change what we experience on the outside. Next up is the law of vibration. This law says that nothing ever really stops. Everything is always moving and shaking, even if we can't see it. From solid objects like rocks to invisible things like our thoughts and feelings, everything vibrates. The difference between a rock and an emotion is how fast or slow they vibrate. What's cool about this law is that it helps explain why our emotions and thoughts actually affect what happens around us. When we feel scared, sad, or angry, we tend to attract more of the same kind of energy. But when we lift ourselves up with feelings like love, gratitude, and happiness, we start to bring more good things into our lives. Science today agrees with this too. Quantum physics tells us that everything at the smallest level is just energy vibrating at different speeds. So if we learn how to raise our vibration, we can actually change what we experience in the world. These first three laws give us a powerful way to see the universe. Everything is made of mind or energy. Everything is connected, and everything vibrates at different levels. Now, let's look at the other four laws that explain how the universe moves in patterns, how cause and effect work, and how opposites balance each other out. Earlier, we talked about how the universe is mental, how everything connects across different levels, and how vibration is everywhere. Now, we'll explore the laws that show us how the universe flows, how opposites actually relate, and how we can rise above cause and effect by using our willpower. The fourth law is the law of polarity. This means everything has two sides, two poles. Every experience, feeling, or thing has its opposite. But here's the trick. These opposites aren't completely different. They are really the same thing, just at opposite ends of a spectrum. For example, cold and hot are not totally separate. They're just degrees of temperature. The same goes for light and dark, love and hate, sadness and happiness. What this law teaches us is that we can move along this scale. If we're feeling scared, we can move toward courage. If we're full of anger, we can choose to shift toward love. It's not about getting rid of one side, but learning to move between the two with awareness. Fifth is the law of rhythm. Everything has a natural flow like a rhythm. Think about nature. Day turns to night. The tide comes in and goes out. The seasons change over and over. This law tells us that everything follows cycles going back and forth between different states. In our own lives, we also have ups and downs, times when things feel great and times when we face challenges. Understanding this law helps us handle life better because we realize no feeling or situation lasts forever. When tough times come, it helps to remember they're part of life's rhythm and new good times will come again. Sixth, the law of cause and effect. This one's pretty straightforward. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. Nothing just happens randomly. Everything that occurs is connected to something that came before it. This law is the foundation for the idea of karma. What you put out into the world, you get back. If we act with kindness and harmony, we'll see positive results. If we act selfishly or out of ignorance, we'll eventually face the consequences. But this law also gives us power. By choosing our thoughts and actions carefully, we can shape our own reality. We aren't stuck with a set destiny. We get to create our future. Finally, the seventh law is the law of gender. This law says that gender energy exists in everything, not just people. The universe works with two forces that balance each other, the masculine and the feminine. The masculine is about action, creativity, and moving outward. The feminine is about receiving, intuition, and nurturing. Inside each of us, no matter our physical gender, these two energies are present. Our growth comes from balancing them. When we find harmony between these forces inside, we unlock our real creative power. That's when true creativity, manifestation, and wisdom happen. Knowing these laws is just the start. The real magic comes when we put them into practice every day. By living with these ideas in mind, we can change our lives for the better and feel more connected to the natural order of the universe. In the next part, we'll talk about how to use these laws in real life to create more peace, strength, and spiritual growth. Just knowing the Hermetic Laws isn't enough. Their real power shows up when we actually use them in our everyday lives. These laws are like tools that help us see the world differently, improve our reality, and raise our awareness. But how do we put them into practice? Let's break it down, law by law. First, the law of mentalism says that everything in the universe starts in the mind. What you think and believe shapes your experience. If you want to change your life, start by changing your mind. Each morning, take a few minutes to imagine how you want your day to go. Use positive statements to reprogram your subconscious mind. Pay attention to your thoughts and choose to focus on what you want instead of what you fear. This simple shift in mindset can transform how you experience everything. Next is the law of correspondence. This law is about patterns. What happens on a big scale is reflected on a smaller scale. Your outside world reflects your inner world. Look around and notice if the same situations keep showing up in your life. Are there patterns in your relationships, your work, or your emotions? If something isn't working, the answer is to change what's going on inside you. When you change your internal energy, the outside changes too. The law of vibration tells us that everything is in motion, vibrating all the time. If you want to attract positive experiences, you need to raise your own vibration. Surround yourself with things that lift your energy. Listen to peaceful music, avoid noisy chaos, and spend time with people who bring good vibes. Practicing gratitude is one of the best ways to raise your frequency because it's one of the highest emotions you can feel. The law of polarity teaches us that everything has two sides. Every feeling or situation has its opposite, but these opposites are really just different degrees of the same thing. Think about cold and heat. They're not completely different. They're just on opposite ends of the temperature scale. The same goes for love and hate, sadness and happiness, light and dark. When you feel fear, don't fight it. Instead, transform it into courage by taking action. When you're sad, try shifting your thoughts towards something higher and more positive. Every challenge hides an opportunity if you look for it. Then there's the law of rhythm, which shows us that life moves in cycles. Things go up and down, just like the tides or the seasons. Understanding this law helps us accept life's natural flow. When you're going through a tough time, remember it's temporary and part of a larger cycle. Don't resist it and don't cling to good moments either. Both will pass. When things are good, prepare for what's next. When things are hard, breathe and let the cycle run its course without forcing anything. The law of cause and effect reminds us that nothing happens by accident. Every action creates a reaction. This is the foundation of karma. What you put out is what you get back. The key is to act with purpose and awareness. Before making choices, think about their long-term effects. Be proactive, don't just react to what happens around you. Plant the seeds you want to grow and be patient as they develop. Finally, the law of gender explains that masculine and feminine energies exist in everything. These two forces work together to create balance and wholeness. Masculine energy is about doing, creating, and moving forward. Feminine energy is about receiving, feeling, and being patient. Both energies live inside us, no matter our physical gender. Our spiritual growth comes from balancing these energies. When you harmonize your masculine and feminine sides, your creative power grows stronger. That's when you can really manifest your goals and wisdom. Putting these laws into action changes everything. Life stops feeling like random chaos and becomes a system you can understand and work with. It's not about magic or superstition. It's about getting in sync with how the universe really works. When you know these laws, you stop struggling against life and start flowing with its deep wisdom. We've covered the 7 key principles from the Kybalion that explain how the universe operates. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're powerful keys that can open a new way of living and seeing the world. Mentalism shows us that our experience starts in the mind. Correspondence helps us spot the hidden patterns in life. Vibration teaches us how to raise our energy. Polarity reveals that opposites are connected and how to turn negative into positive. Rhythm reminds us life moves in cycles. Cause and effect gives us the power to shape our destiny. And gender connects us to our creative strength. When you live by these laws, you become the architect of your own reality. You stop feeling like a victim of fate and start acting with awareness, working with the cosmic forces that shape everything. But here's the most important question: what are you going to do with this knowledge? True understanding comes not just from reading or hearing about these laws, but from living them. It's not enough to just know. Practice is what makes it real. Use these laws in your thoughts, your choices, and your actions every day. If something here has sparked something inside you, that's just the beginning. There's still so much more to discover, more secrets to unlock, and more ways to grow your awareness. If you want to keep diving deeper into Hermetic teachings, spirituality, and hidden wisdom, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with friends who are curious about life's bigger questions. Drop a comment below about which law stood out to you and how you plan to use it in your life. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll keep exploring the mysteries of the universe together.